Welcome to another episode of the INH Show, where we talk about geek culture, news, and lifestyle. This episode, I guess,
we're coming from the future again, aren't we? Because
apparently.
we're talking about Xmen Apocalypse, which
Yes.
doesn't come out until the 27th of May,
I think we're a week ahead, right?
something like that. Yeah, I think
20th,
so.
27th. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a week ahead, which is pretty cool.
Very cool indeed.
But wow, what a movie, huh?
Yes. So we're going to talk about X-Men Apocalypse. I guess we'll do spoiler free first.
Yep.
I recommend you watch this movie.
Wait, in the cinemas, like highly recommended?
In the cinemas, yeah. I would. Forget that you saw Civil War. Watch this movie and enjoy it.
Okay, and that's a great point to bring up because I think that's where I struggle. I had the week before, I had such a great viewing of Civil War that when I watched this, the Civil War still resonated with me. Like I'm still thinking about it. That you can't help but make that comparison.
Well,
right?
it's only been like a few weeks, and in fact, you could go watch Civil War right now and still you can still choose which movie to watch. But do you recommend X-Men Apocalypse? Wow, that's
well, okay. Overall, and I think I said this to you before. Overall, it's entertaining, and I guess I would say yes, go watch it in the cinemas.
that's not a really big endorsement though.
No, because it feels like it fell a bit flat for me. I did enjoy Days of Future Past a lot more. I did enjoy X-Men First Class a lot more as well because it's more fun. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. But this one, I had issues with certain characters in this.
Yeah.
And basically,
I don't
what I
disagree
predicted
with that assessment.
what I predicted with what was going to happen with that particular character, it was in my mind what I visualized back then when I said she's just there for the looks. It is what it is.
Well,
and I feel that I was.
That's not
right.
a spoiler alert right there. You have an issue with Sarlacc. So, I guess I really want to get into the discussion of this. This is spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it yet, stop here, save this, come back later, and enjoy the rest of this video.
I mean, we won't spoil it too much, but there's no spoil. Wait, can I just say there is no major spoilers in the sense of it's like a bum bum bum. Oh, plot twist. There's nothing like that at all, right? It's just us telling us, explaining what there is. Oh well.
Actually, I'm going to get into that. Yeah. So.
Okay.
So.
All right.
We recommend it. Go watch it. A little bit of So we're into spoiler territory now.
Okay. All right.
So I just want to say straight up that the trailers for this movie did not help this movie at all. Because you want to talk about spoilers.
Well,
remember my issue with Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Yes.
I had this issue where the trailer gave us the ending.
They showed the ending in the trailer.
This movie did the exact same thing.
Okay.
Where they had one of the trailers is Magneto talking to Professor X saying, "Well, what are you going to do when they come after your kids?" And it's like, I feel a swell of pity for whoever.
Well, even the very
that
last...
was in the movie. I mean, that was in the trailer.
Even the very last scene,
with Mystique, right?
No, but the very last scene in the film, which is
it closes. It closes.
That was in the trailer.
That was in the trailer. Mystique, and Mystique saying, "Well, you're no longer whatever. You're X-Men now." That last 5 minutes of this movie
is in
you
the
already
trailer.
saw it. Yeah. So to me, when I'm watching this movie, it's very prominent in my mind that and then this is a good reason for me to just not watch trailers because sometimes in my mind I'm thinking, "Oh, we saw that scene. I can tick that off."
Well,
and then,
So okay, I will say this though. For me, and you know me with with spoilers, I'm not too hung up about spoilers too much, right? Unless it's a plot twist or stuff like that, that's a different story. However, that being said, I found that the first two, unless I recall right, the first two trailers that I saw for this movie, X-Men: Age of Apocalypse or Apocalypse,
not Age of Apocalypse.
Sorry,
yeah,
Apocalypse. I thought it was okay. It was the last one that came out where there's a certain character. They reveal
we're
a certain
in spoiler territory, so you can name names.
So. Really super spoiler, so if turn away for the next couple of minutes, just in case. Wolverine's in it, right? And the last trailer that I saw was the one where you actually see his hand going sort of thing.
I never saw that trailer.
See, I did because someone posted it up on Facebook and said, "Oh my god!" And it's like, dude, call out spoilers if it's to that point of a trailer. And I understand trailers are spoilers.
It's kind of tough,
but that's going beyond.
It's kind of tough because you would think trailers are fair game. You know,
Right.
If they're willing to give it to you, then fine. You know.
But let me say this: how cool! I mean, you didn't see that.
Oh, it
so
was
you weren't
very
expecting.
cool.
So you
No.
weren't expecting Wolverine to be in
When
there?
they went to Alkali Lake, I thought, oh, that's
You're
cute.
like, uh-oh.
No, well, I
Weapon
thought,
X.
yeah, we're gonna see Weapon X. Like, they're gonna walk past the
Something,
thing that
yeah.
says Weapon X or something. It's like, oh, okay,
Right.
you know, like those who know
Yeah.
are gonna recognize it.
Right.
But no, it was a whole scene. Like you
It
hear
was all
him,
seen with Weapon X. With
you
Logan.
see him, yeah, and he looks.
So you weren't expecting that at all?
I was not expecting that at all. He was in it for a pretty good chunk of
For
time.
me, I knew that was gonna happen
Okay.
because
You knew
it was
coming.
spoiled.
Yeah.
So I was like, I thought to myself when I was watching it, it would have been really cool if I had no idea that Wolverine was going to show up in it at all whatsoever.
I was so.
Were you like, whoa, what the hell?
I was looking around thinking that I'm the smartest guy in this cinema because I'm the only one that knows the connection between
Right.
Stryker and Weapon X. But and then when he came out and he had the headgear and the
view-
wires
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah. That was cool. That was cool.
You know,
Oh,
now
that
like
was
we've had
cool.
Samurai Logan,
Yes.
we've had like Wolverine Origins, we've had this Wolverine Weapon X. Like they're just gonna put him in the yellow suit now, right?
I hope so. Yeah.
Like-
well, that was a hint from the last Wolverine.
Well, the brown suit, like, get rid of that. I want the yellow suit. I want the yellow
blue?
spandex. Yeah, the yellow spandex, you know. I guess you could do Old Man Logan, but now, like, Hugh Jackman has pretty much covered all of the,
He pretty much has.
the key Wolverine scenes,
So
isn't it?
let's talk about the
Or
Wolverine
eras.
character in this film, though. I thought it was really cool. Everything, costume-wise, everything, the helmet, it looks like what it was in the comics that I remember it to be, right?
And
that was really cool.
Yeah.
The only part I will call out that I didn't like was this movie still came across as the old school X-Men movies, as in X1, X2, and X3, in the sense of it felt a bit dated and they're trying to play it safe. So
Well,
for
I
example,
mean, it was set in the 70s.
yeah,
so-
but do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't, everything that they shot in this film wasn't anything more wowing. Like, for example, Avengers, they had certain scenes where in Avengers 1, they put the camera in a car, and when the Chitauri came and blew up the streets and stuff like that, they flipped the whole car. They did really cool stuff like this. This one, to me, from a cinematic point of view, felt very safe.
Yeah,
And it's
well,
not
you
bad,
know,
but do you know what I'm
that
saying?
I don't think Bryan Singer is a visionary in the same way that Zack Snyder's a
Right.
visual, visually
Yeah,
tell
but that's
storylines.
what I'm
you know,
saying.
or
I mean,
even-
he just did the same thing that he always has, is what I felt.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's safe. I mean, I really like the intro. After the scene in Egypt, and then you see going through the different timelines.
See, I
it's
felt
very, very.
that
I mean, it was kind of like motion sickness inducing sort
No,
of
see,
thing.
but for me,
thought
when
it
I
was-
saw that, I felt that it was like CG from the 90s. It felt a bit dated for me. It's sort of like when Weapon X came out, and the first thing he did was he jumped up and went down on the guy like that. It felt like, you can tell it was like, harnesses, and it looked
I
really
don't think
terrible.
Bryan Singer's really the ones like you don't expect that
Yeah,
sort
but
of.
to me, it looks very 90s. It doesn't feel good. That's just me, only because I'm expecting him to up the ante.
This
Does that make
is
sense?
the
though?
X-Men of the 80s,
Yeah, but I just
it's
expect
all
them to up the ante.
it's all
in regards
mullets
to-
and rolled up sleeve
But,
jackets.
but that's the thing. It's not about visuals. It's about the special effects. It's about how they execute. It
I
looks
think it's
fake.
still a bit, well, to me it was fine. I mean, you have an eye for these things. It didn't bother me so much. That was cool. I'm glad that Hugh Jackman was in it quite prominently, and,
So do
and
I.
they've set up the seeds for whatever he's going to do. But here's one of the issues I had with this movie, and I
Yep.
said it when we did our X-Men Days of Future Past
Yep,
review.
yep.
This is a prequel of sorts, is it not?
I guess
because
it's a
we-
prequel because they're restarting the timeline again, and then they.
But we already
Extend
know
it-
that
it's in the 80s
like,
and yeah.
we already know that we're gonna see Cyclops and Jean Grey in the
Yes,
school, and we're
yes.
gonna see like Kelsey Grammer Beast.
Yes.
We're gonna see Wolverine and Professor X in in the principal's office.
Yes,
also.
yes,
So
yes, yes.
to me, it kind of takes some of the
Doesn't
drama out of it.
wait, but
it's
can
a
I
prequel.
may I ask you though? Doesn't this scratch everything else that happened beforehand because of Days of Future Past and all that?
It does,
Basically,
in as much
everything
as
from
we don't
X1,
know.
2, and 3 is basically none of that happened. We're starting fresh again.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw Storm in the. We saw like Kitty Pryde. We saw Storm. We see all these characters, right? Where
Right.
Wolverine wakes up. So
Yeah.
any movies coming up, if there's going to be any sort of danger to those characters, we know that they're going to make it and survive.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's kind of loose, and I'm being a bit harsh, but to me, it's a little bit of a prequel.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I kind of wish it was a more contemporary movie, and I hear that the next one's. Have you read this? The next one's going to be in the 90s or something.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard. I don't know how solid it is, and things can change.
Are they going to take away? Are they going to take from like the Chris Claremont, Jim Lee?
Well,
90s
that we don't. That I don't know.
interesting.
But it's going to be set in the 90s.
Okay.
So whether or not that happens,
But
I
I
don't know.
heard. But here's the thing. I read articles going back to the Wolverine character that obviously Wolverine 3, well let's call it that, is his last one, and they're looking at, and Bryan Singer really wants to do X-23, Laura, right?
Yeah.
And it
yeah,
makes
that's
sense with the end of this one with the SX group or XS. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
with
Well, I
Laura-
mean, he's taken the vials,
the
of
vials
whatever.
and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
blood and stuff to clone her, to make a clone of Wolverine, which is what X-23 is, right? So it would be really cool if they do go down that path, but if they somehow link that over to the 90s X-Men, I don't know how that will work, because that character's made way later.
Yeah, but that's no big deal. I mean, I think
Fair.
we should talk about that. You know, like what we know from the books, and because I get the feeling you're going to go on a rant when I start naming out some of these characters. But the last thing I want to say about the X-Men movie is that they still, to me, they don't really look like X-Men visually. How should I phrase? Like the costumes, they could be more colorful, right? Because in the movie they wear jumpsuits. Like that is their uniform.
Yes, but that's not technically the uniform. It's just a jumpsuit from the
from,
Weapon X sort of program they use and they put it on. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to just see the X-Men
colors, like the blue and the yellow?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and that's why I like First Class so much, because they had that, didn't they?
But it still wasn't really their costumes as such.
It's not
you know, like, they're not recognizable.
Well,
they still don't look like X-Men to me.
Well, but by the very end, though, what was really cool is we saw the Cyclops 90s, like the
Yeah,
homage to the costume where it's got the
big X.
X and
Yeah.
then, you know, the belt buckle, is that what you call it? The belt?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
So-
that was pretty cool. But I guess that was looking more like their uniform, like an updated version.
Like to me, I still want to see that, and because I am more of a '90s X-Men fan.
Right.
You know, the first comic book I ever read was X-Men, so it always has a special sort of part for me.
But go on.
What was the first comic you read?
Batman.
Okay.
It was a Batman issue.
Okay, well that kind of makes sense to, you know. But yeah, X-Men was the first book I read, so in a way, I still would like to see the 90s X-Men in some fashion. We got Psylocke, which is pretty cool. We'll get onto it a bit later, but let's talk about... I just want to talk about the villain, Apocalypse. What do you think about Apocalypse?
I didn't find him threatening at all. Sure, okay, and I mentioned this to you a little bit before we started recording. I felt that isn't Apocalypse supposed to be the big bad with 4 horsemen? You know, like, do you know what I mean? Like Death and you know all those sort of guys.
I thought it was pretty threatening. I thought it was.
I didn't find him threatening. I found him like I don't know if it's the fact that the makeup and the costume
He still doesn't look quite that. He still doesn't look quite.
He doesn't look menacing
like
at all.
Apocalypse, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. He looks like. I don't know. People tease that he looks like a Power Ranger villain, that sort of thing, but. I just
he still kind of does. Like
yeah,
the color
he does,
and
but
the makeup.
I couldn't take him seriously. I did not. I was just like, he looks like any other villain. That's it. It wasn't like, oh crap.
I'll be honest.
This is Apocalypse.
The most I know about Apocalypse is from the video game. Like the X-Men vs. Street Fighter. He can get big, his arm tends to drill, you know, and he can smash, you know? Yeah. So that's really all I know about him. But I thought they handled his powers because isn't one of the jokes about Apocalypse that we don't really know what his powers are? Like it's just whatever we want it to be.
Yeah.
Like, he can get big, he can get strong, he can do this and do that. And in the movie, I thought they handled it. I thought within the context of the movie, they did it quite well. You know, he transfers his conscience, and I guess he remembers. He's like Sylar from Heroes, you know.
Yeah, right. Sylar was cool though. He was my favorite character in Heroes.
He's collecting powers, which is kind of
weird. He was my favorite for sure.
But in this movie where like he's doing the transferring thing and it's like it's incomplete, I thought it was fine within the context of the movie. Although I can understand that he's not maybe what we think in terms of because Apocalypse is, as far as I'm aware, one of the big headline villains.
Yes,
and he certainly didn't have quite that effect.
He's not as
threatening
as what I would have assumed he would be. If that sort of makes sense. He's just like a normal. A-grade villain, B-grade villain.
Now, what did you think about Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse? There's something I wanted to ask you about.
I don't think I like him as Apocalypse. I don't know.
I don't know why you get Oscar Isaac and paint him up in a and make him unrecognizable. You know, I mean, Oscar Isaac's a big deal right now.
I like Oscar Isaac. I mean, in The Force Awakens, he was awesome. In Ex Machina. He was awesome.
Which I still haven't seen.
He's really freaking awesome in that. Like you get so angry at him, but he does it so well. But then all of a sudden, you use him as Apocalypse, and you basically
they're playing it differently. But
you cover him up so he doesn't even look like him, and I don't know. I think it almost felt like he was working with the best that he could with what he had.
Which I
You know
think,
what I mean? That's what it felt like.
all of the characters basically did that. That's just my a quick
Okay.
summation of it. But are you gonna make a big deal out of the fact that he's this Egyptian guy and that they cast a like Oscar Isaac, who's not, as far as I'm aware, Egyptian, he's like from Guatemala or something? No. Okay, so just for the record, you have no issue with them casting characters who are like maybe not the race or ethnicity.
I do,
of certain
if it's the
characters?
right character.
Not the right character.
Wait, hold on. Do we know that Apocalypse is
Egyptian?
100%?
Well, I mean,
I assume
in this movie, he is, because you know. But
I mean, I don't think he. And this, excuse my ignorance. This is me being ignorant now. I don't think he doesn't look Egyptian.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go. That's so you have that on record. He doesn't look Egyptian, but it's okay.
No, I don't think he doesn't look Egyptian.
Yeah.
So to
that's
me,
what I mean.
he looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, there you have it. You can send your complaints to X17 Media.
Yes.
And,
Do it,
so,
please.
I think Apocalypse was okay. I did like him as a villain.
Okay.
And I think he was used as well as he could within like a 2.5 hour movie.
Yep.
Let's get on to, I guess, the Horsemen of Apocalypse.
Which is not the Horseman that I knew of.
Which is not the Horseman that I knew of, except for
Angel.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Speaking of Angel, he was the least...
Likable?
Yeah, least likable.
Impressive?
The least...
Yeah.
because
He was
he
just
has
like-
no... So, okay, so he's a cage fighter.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about that? Warren Worthington III,
I
the
thought
cage fighter.
Wait, in the books he was some sort of rich boy, right?
Yeah, he's like a rich kid.
So what? I didn't understand that.
It was an interesting use of that. It was.
I will take a step back to sort of say I understand that I need to, and this is what you taught me last time.
Forget what you know.
Forget what you know from the books versus the films. It's a different sort of cinematic universe is different, right?
Well, there
But
are some things
just-
you can't. There are some things you shouldn't change.
Right, but it would have been cooler if he was that typical rich boy. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I didn't.
For the sake of the storyline, yeah, they made him this cage fighter.
And I didn't think much of it at all. I actually don't. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
I
didn't
thought
like
the
his
wings
character, I
looked
didn't-
cool. I thought his powers looked good. I don't know about the face tattoo. That was a bit weird.
Well, that's because like in the comics, it's like
Well,
the blue skin
yeah.
with the lines. Like doesn't he have pink lines? It was part of his costume.
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah. No, okay.
He was the least. You know the thing with this movie as well is that.
'Cause he's supposed to be the angel of death, right?
Well, in the
it's
books,
part of the Four Horsemen. He's death.
Yeah.
He was the death character. Okay.
Like these four horsemen, it would be
It was
quite
just
hard.
like-
Who's famine, who's pestilence, whatever.
Yeah, but there is none of that, right?
Yeah,
It is.
as
It's
far
just,
as I'm
it's just
aware.
Four Horsemen.
But I was gonna say that, like,
yeah.
aside from maybe Magneto and Cyclops, maybe Professor X, the other characters in this movie, there's really very little to go on. Storm has a little bit of an arc. Did you like Storm?
I did like Storm, but
I like
is
Storm.
she? So I'm confused here.
She's in Egypt. She's not Egyptian. Is that what you're gonna go for?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, if they were trying to sell her as an Egyptian, I was gonna
Well, she's
be like,
not. No,
she
well,
doesn't
I mean,
look Egyptian.
Aurora Monroe's
She's-
not, and she doesn't speak with an Egyptian accent.
She
either.
doesn't.
No.
She doesn't speak like with an Africana accent.
She had something of an accent. You don't think so?
I thought that she had more of an Egyptian accent than an African accent.
Well, let us know what you guys
Please
thought.
let us know.
I think it
Please
was
let us
more of
know.
a. I don't think it was an Egyptian accent, but anyway.
I think it was.
All right. Well,
Which felt wrong
We
to
differ,
me, but-
yeah.
Okay, anyways, I'll please message us to let us know on our Facebook page because I really want to know
what is
what
Storm's accent?
is supposed.
If the actress is watching this thing, yeah, let us know. Let us know
please.
what
Yeah.
you were. What
Sorry,
you were
let's keep
told
on
to
going.
do.
Let's keep on. But Storm is a really cool character. She's probably one of my favorite looking out of the Four Horsemen. She's probably one of my favorite ones.
Really, like
Yeah.
in this movie.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
absolutely.
interesting.
I thought she just looked cool. She had a pretty cool story. Obviously, she looked up to Raven. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, I just
Yeah,
thought
and
was
she had
really
the character arc in the end as well.
cool. Yeah, I thought it was good.
The next one I want to talk about is Psylocke.
Oh my god! So everything I predicted last time was so true. She's only there for her freaking looks, and she's super hot. Don't get me wrong. Olivia Munn is super hot, but she doesn't do anything. She doesn't say anything. She says
She has like
three
4 lines or
three
something,
lines
yeah.
or something. Yeah, and that's it. And she doesn't have any major fighting scenes. All her fighting scenes are like freaking. It looks like CG. She does nothing. She adds no value to the freaking movie besides her looks. It is rubbish. But
Well,
hey,
I will
let me say
agree.
this to make everyone angry. That's what happens when you hire a cosplayer to act. No, I'm just kidding. I was kidding.
Remember that at 11 Media? That's where you send your complaints.
Okay, I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
I'm just
well-
playing. Come on.
She Look, I honestly think Olivia Munn did the best with what she was given. Okay, she was there to pose and just posture, and like that's all.
Cosplay.
She's
there to cosplay in the movie.
But like I maintain that not a lot of these characters had really that much to develop on outside of maybe like Cyclops and Jean Grey, Magneto. Magneto had to me the most to go with, okay? So Psylocke didn't really do much.
She didn't do anything.
I still don't like the way she and there's no background, like you don't see her name. Like
no background,
she's just called Psylocke.
No Betsy Braddock or anything like that. Yep. She speaks with an American accent. So hey, we worked that out because that was a question that we asked.
Yeah, whether she is
she going to be British accent or American accent?
But I guess again, like, forget what you know.
Correct.
I quite like that she had the sword and she had the side blade sort of thing. Like when they first introduced.
What about when she did the Wonder Woman whip?
The whip was. Look, I didn't dislike that because again,
I guess it's doable though.
Yeah,
Psylocke could technically do that.
Within the context of this movie, it's like Apocalypse is maybe enhancing your powers or telling you what you can do. So who's to say you can't turn that little blade into a more
but initially
she
used it as a sword, right? That's
or some sort of blade. Yeah, so I think that was pretty cool. She didn't have much to do. I thought it was quite interesting the way her story ends.
She didn't do much, and she just like walks away in the shadows.
But she had this look, right? Like
she's angry.
Yeah, but
she's a villain.
It's kind of like she's a villain.
But
that's weird, right? Isn't that unusual?
Not a villain. She's part of the X-Men. She's part of X-Force.
Yeah, well, presumably she'll come back and do more stuff. No, you don't. Or you don't like the idea of that?
I don't, because I just find her useless. Again,
but
Olivia Munn is super hot, but they only use her for her looks, and that's it.
It was unusual.
Her action scenes weren't even great. Did you think her action scenes were great?
They weren't that great, but there was really like one or two action scenes,
Because that was pointless to even cast her in there.
Well, I guess they just wanted to have 4 horsemen. They wanted to, and they just wanted to have her in it. I still think she looks a little bit. The costume's a bit weird,
Yeah.
Because she has it's not fingerless gloves. I think there's just nitpicky sort of stuff. If they're gonna keep that costume, just make it more faithful to the original Jim Lee.
It sort of was though, with more holes everywhere.
Which and you can take those sort of liberties because Apocalypse is going around changing things.
Okay.
Anyway, I thought she was okay.
All right.
Magneto. We got to talk about Magneto. There's a lot to say about this guy, right?
Fassbender is ridiculously awesome. I don't know. That guy used to get multiple. You don't find that?
Fassbender is incredible. I think he and Tom Hardy are like the 2 greatest actors right now.
So we're talking about the actor, not the character, right?
yeah. I'm talking about the actor right now.
Yeah. So Fassbender, the guy is amazing. Like I actually felt there was certain. When he his daughter dies.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got really teary then. I was so upset. And he pulls it off so, the anger, the emotions, how he just tears and, the guy's just a crazy actor. He's freaking nuts.
He's given the most in that first half of the movie. I thought at the end, it's almost like the Psylocke thing where he's just there posing, you got Fassbender, the greatest, in my mind, if not the top 3, top 5 actors right now, and he's just standing there with his arms open, moving things around, creating magnetic fields. So that was kind of weird,
I felt that to be a bit of a waste.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it was just like.
Now, where do they go with Magneto now? Because you want to talk about, Psylocke becoming a villain. Now Magneto's a good guy, or not a good,
He's a good guy, and he's by Charles.
I'm not an active X-Men reader.
I understand.
I'm told that Magneto is not a full-blown villain.
He's not.
Yeah.
Because
is that
yeah. Well, as far as I know now, he's not.
But where do you go with him now? Because if he's in the next movie as a villain or he's conflicted again, I don't like that idea at all. Yeah, I just don't think it's, what else can you do with this guy? Oh, and people complain about how they don't want to see the death of the Wayne getting gunned down in Crime Alley.
Again and again.
I don't want to see Magneto's parents get dragged away from him. I don't want to see that. We've had that all the time, So for all your complaints about Bruce Wayne's parents, enough with the Magneto origin story. I had enough of that. It's a tough thing, but we get it. But it's interesting. Where do you go with Magneto?
I don't know, man. I think you could go both ways because he does look from First Class. I mean, he came across started off as a good guy.
Well, and became bad. The villain, yeah.
And then he, from Days of Future Past, he sort of probably the main sort of villain sort of character.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's like Oliver Trask.
But at the same, but
Sentinels.
you know what I mean? Like he's got his reasons as to why he's a typical complex character. He thinks he's doing the right thing when he's.
But he kind of leaves. You know, he
leaves as a good guy.
Away.
So
well, there's a few tries to leave as the bad guy. I mean, in the future, he and Charles
are buddies. So maybe
they reconcile. Maybe it's out of necessity. But at the end of this movie, they're buddies. And they leave on good terms.
I reckon it's going to be back. He's just going to be back and forwards.
Yeah, I just don't like the idea that that's what's going to happen. Fair. Again, I mean, this is just conjecture, but
that's fair.
Fassbender's great in that.
Awesome.
I mean, he acted well.
Yep.
But again, he was given the most to do in this movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I thought that was great.
I have an issue with Mystique being the leader of the X-Men, or what was portrayed as a leader.
Yeah,
of the
well,
X-Men.
And again, this is another thing where they're kind of changing what we know about.
Sorry.
Yeah. So what don't you like about it? You want it to be more of a villain?
She's a villain. Mystique is a villain.
Now,
she's always been a villain.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm not an active reader, so I don't know whether she has done good things. Or,
I'm sure she has. But all these.
But as far as I'm aware, she's a villain.
But yeah, like even now, she's a villain, right?
She could become a villain in the next movie, though. Like, she could suddenly become disenfranchised, I think. You know, I don't think her arc is as complex as Magneto's, where he's really had the ups and downs.
Yeah, right.
Because I guess in this movie, she's trying to be a hero. I mean, she says she's not a hero, but she's trying to free the mutants.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you get, Jennifer Lawrence, whom everyone loves, and you can't keep her in that blue face paint for so long. You know, if I'm paying Jennifer Lawrence money, I want to see Jennifer Lawrence on the screen.
That's fair. What other characters do you want to go through?
Well, we got to get into the X-Men now, I guess.
Yep.
So who's what about Quicksilver? We got to talk about him.
Quicksilver, he's so cool. He's like the best.
Well, we all liked him from the first one, from Days of Future Past, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I find him to be a very cool character. And I don't know, what can I say? I mean, the hell? So coolest character ever. I mean, he had the most fun, and I guess going into the movie, I thought to myself, he had that really cool scene where he's running around the kitchen, and it's like soup, and it's like moving people's hands in the way, you know. And I was like, oh man, I hope to do something really cool like that. And all of a sudden, he's got this even bigger version of that. So that's like a pure example of how they stepped up to sort of show something a little bit more, or evolutionized that scene or that character.
You know, with these special effects that we do, you know, when you do it the second time, it loses a little bit of its effect.
It
wink,
does.
Wink. Yeah.
But I thought that they did.
I like that scene. It was a good use of the Eurythmics. I mean, it was the best use of that Sweet Dreams song since Sucker Punch, because you know that movie started off with that song as well. But here's the thing with that scene: it was a fun scene. I liked it. It broke up the
seriousness,
movie.
Yeah.
But this kind of pulls apart any sort of what could be a threat for this guy, Quicksilver, you know? Because if you look at it objectively, something blows up, and then
he just goes around
within, like, how quick does an explosion take place, you know? Like, within that many seconds, or within that microsecond, he can rescue some 20-odd people to safety. You know, like, what's going to be a threat for this guy? You know, didn't you think that's kind of weird?
But
and he's goofing around. He's, you know, he's not just saving people with any sort of urgency. He's like, you know... Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. But look, I mean, they did stop him at the end. Apocalypse did.
Yeah, well, and look,
they broke his.
I will say that
head broken, right?
Yeah,
like,
and
snapped it. Yeah.
I will concede that it was a cool moment where, you know, you see his eye, like he is, you know, he's gonna stop him in some way, and you can see it coming. But Quicksilver was cool, and actually I like the character. You know, he said, you know, I'm always slow. I'm always late.
That was really cool. That was really cool. He's like he's for someone. What is it? For someone so fast, he's always the last one or to arrive late or something like that.
Yeah, and which is cool because like this is a guy who could do things at at the drop of a dime. So you would think he would leave things to the last minute. You know, I thought that was a really nice little piece there. What did you think about the Quicksilver Magneto family relationship? Because us comic book fans in the know, we know that they're related.
Well,
the movie, they flat out said it.
Yeah, so the movie flat out said it. Wait, the only reason I'm questioning this is because I watched a YouTube video just the other week, and it was sort of saying how apparently Wanda and Quicksilver found that they were obviously Magneto's kids, and then later, years later, they found that that's absolutely false. Is that... I don't know. In my mind, I thought they were always...
As far as I'm aware, and as far as I'm concerned,
they are.
Yeah.
They are, right. But, I'm okay with it.
I just thought it was
don't
weird
see-
that okay, so Magneto he becomes this. He goes on this this character arc because his wife and child die, right?
Yep.
Now, 20 minutes later, we find out that he has another wife and child that he's just completely forgotten about. Like, didn't it kind of feel a bit weird? You know?
No, because did he really have a wife?
Well, okay, maybe not a wife, but he had another child. You know, like it was.
Does he know that is the?
He doesn't. But what kind of person? You know, like unless
He doesn't. But if
he
he
goes
doesn't
around
know,
associating with women and you know.
no, but if he doesn't
Something
know,
like
I
that.
mean, if he went over and had a thing with this female, she had a kid, but he left before she fell
I know.
pregnant.
Well,
Like
look,
it's not his fault.
I
He
know
doesn't
that
know.
we're being.
He doesn't know.
I know that I'm being nitpicky here, but it's just so weird and.
I'm okay with it because he doesn't know. It's not his fault. And Quicksilver didn't end up telling him. He was like,
correct. He didn't.
When he turned around, it's like, well, how about you? And it's like, I'm doing this for my family too. It's
Yeah,
just like
well-
I'm yours. You know what I mean?
I just think they didn't even need to introduce that if you're gonna go down that road. You know, it was so weird that in the movie his wife and child dies, and then he has another wife and child he doesn't know about. You know, it's just like when you take it on face value, it's just so. It was a little bit
So
weird.
what you're saying is it added no value to the whole
To
story.
me, yeah, to me it
Because
didn't
really,
like.
it
and
sort of didn't do much.
it's hard
with it.
because you can't have it both ways. Like I can see
Okay.
why they plant those storylines in the movie,
Okay.
but I just didn't think it was. I think there should have been a better way to go around
Okay.
introducing that, or you know, giving the character that motivation.
Fair. Any other characters you want to talk about?
Well, who have we missed out on? I guess you know Cyclops is cool.
Kurt Wagner.
I like Nightcrawler.
He was
I like
cool.
him with his Michael Jackson Thriller jacket. You know.
Yeah, that was really cool.
He was cool.
Cyclops.
Well, I
Do you
guess
have
they're
much to say?
grooming him to be because they gave him quite a lot of storyline and backstory.
Yeah,
they gave him like his family.
Yes.
What do you think about Alex
Oh,
Thomas?
but that's what I was gonna ask. I actually don't know. Was Alex always the eldest brother, the older brother?
I thought
it was
Scott was
the older brother,
Yeah.
and Alex was the younger brother.
Yeah.
So I got a big. It threw me off, and I was like, oh, maybe I what?
No, I think that's the case.
I don't know Havoc or Alex too much, but I felt like it was such a waste, and I felt that Alex, it almost like they switch bodies. He's like the leader. He is the straight up Boy Scout. That's do you know what I mean? He doesn't really waver and stuff like that.
Well, he's a young kid in this
Right.
story, but
you know what I'm saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
and Havoc came across that way more than anyone else.
You know, another thing I would have liked in this movie is that if I didn't know that Havoc was going to be in this movie, I think I would have appreciated it a bit more. I think they could have done more with him as well.
Yeah.
They kind of killed him off screen.
Did it really
You
kill
know?
him? Do you reckon it really killed him?
Well,
I don't know. I'm
you know,
just
they said,
asking.
look, any writer could say that, you know, the explosion was not really, like, he vaporized himself by shooting out so much, and then, look, I think his character is effectively dead. You know, it would
That's
have to be
a
a very
shame.
roundabout way. Yeah, I think he deserved better.
And we saw their parents who are not space pirates.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's why you gotta forget everything you know about.
Yeah.
You know, they could be foster parents or
Not
whatever.
part of the
but-
Starjammers. Damn.
Yeah. But he had a lot. The kid was kind of weird. That the guy who played Cyclops.
Yeah?
It was just. I
bizarre.
can imagine he grows up to be.
He almost reminded me of Tom
James
Hardy,
Marsden.
just looks wise.
No, don't reduce Tom Hardy to that. What do you think about Jean Grey? I think we would better finish up with her
We
because
do
she
need to
got
wrap
a big.
this up.
She got a big part in this movie.
Yeah, I thought she pulled it off well, and I think the actors did really well.
Did you like Phoenix? The reveal of Phoenix.
Okay, so that was the last bit what I wanted to ask you. So at the very end, when she's like, she's using her powers, the Phoenix Force came out. I thought the Phoenix Force was a different entity from space, not within
Well,
her. So I'm confused here.
From one of
again.
these things, it inhabits it finds a vessel. Something. Oh,
It
who
finds
knows?
like
It
the
doesn't.
most powerful vessel of Earth, and it goes there. Isn't that what
Yeah, well,
happens?
they can't go.
I might be wrong.
But they're not gonna give us all of that backstory unless
so
they want to do the.
so the Phoenix Force is within her.
It might be. We don't. Within the movie universe, it might be. We don't know.
Fair, but it didn't really add any value for me. I wasn't like, oh wow, or
I guess one of the things with this movie is that it is kind of predictable. Maybe it's a trailer. Maybe genre movies generally are quite predictable. But there were no big. I guess as you said, there were no big surprises. Oh, that was another thing. You know, Mystique. There's a scene where Psylocke is going to.
Oh, it's just when she.
He is gonna kill. Who was it? Was it Beast or I forget.
Yeah, it was
who.
Beast. It was Beast.
It was someone. Yeah. Anyway, and then she.
Oh, it's just when like she had.
Oh no! I was gonna say, you know when
I know.
Apocalypse is holding someone, and then Psylocke is gonna cut his head off or something.
Oh yeah.
And in the end,
she slices his throat.
Yeah. Now we already knew in the movie or from the trailers that it's going to end up being Mystique, you know. So again, that was another thing which I just didn't. I wish I didn't know that, you know.
But, so just to wrap this up, I'm just gonna say that I think what the problem is for me with this X-Men franchise is it felt a bit dated, and it felt like they were really trying to make a superhero movie, and that's where the issue is for me. Whereas Marvel Studios, as in the Avengers sort of lineup, Iron Man, Hulk, and all that, it's more so like there is a particular theme, like whatever genre it is, and they have those particular characters in there. This is like to me, it felt like let's make a superhero movie, and that's where the issue is for me. It comes across a little bit like, hence why my reaction was it's entertaining.
I think as a 90s X-Men fan, which is essentially what I am with these movies, it did. There were a lot of great moments. You know, to see Psylocke on screen and to look like Psylocke that I remember. Weapon X.
Weapon X was cool.
There were a few other, like I guess Phoenix as well. You know, these are all the things you remember from the 90s. So to see that, it was good. It was entertaining. I think it's a little bit weaker than Days of Future Past. Yeah,
as it was.
But look, I think it's a good movie. I think it's an enjoyable movie.
Yep.
I think X-Men fans would really like it. Would I recommend it to the casual fan? See, I have a little bit of an issue with that because I don't think this is a kids movie. You know that first scene in Egypt where people are getting burnt and twisted up. You know, like that is so violent. Like I would not bring a kid to watch that.
That was pretty cool though.
And then the ending was kind of like you see her with the Phoenix behind her. It's, you know, so I did have some issues with it, but it was an entertaining movie. It's hard when you're following Civil War, especially.
Yep.
You know, had this followed Batman vs Superman, we might have a different discussion. But I think this is a good movie. I really don't know where they can go from here.
I don't either.
No, I mean obviously Mr. Sinister is. Is
it the next villain or next?
Well, presumably he's going to be part of it, or maybe in the next Wolverine movie. That's all up for debate. But I guess let us know what you guys think. Did you enjoy the movie? What do you want to see in the next few movies? Like, comment, and once again, I just want everyone to send your complaints to @11teenmedia. Let them know what you think about Psylocke and Oscar Isaac being an Egyptian. Until next time, guys, we'll see you on the next INA show.
See ya.